What's up, comic and pop culture fans? This is James with Midhunter Comics. Excuse the gross arm bandage, I just got a Killer Croc tattoo. Hell yeah. And unfortunately, unlike Killer Croc, we are doing a top 10 today that only has one DC entry. So sad. This is my top 10 best-selling Silver Age titles. This is my personal list. This could be different in Georgia. This could be different in Michigan. This could be different in Indiana. This could be different in California. These are my trends. Now, granted, some of these kind of rotate in and out, but I have a feeling you guys are not going to guess my number one. You could be a winner of an ASM 300-9-8 first full appearance of Venom. All you have to do is be subscribed and make sure to comment on each video. I'm going to start the list off with number 10. Avengers. I don't think this used to be on my top 10. I've noticed a trend coming back around to Avengers, and I'll tell you why. One of the things. I think, personally, because it was a slow mover for me, I lowered the price. It could honestly just be that my Avengers issues are priced a little bit lower than what you'll find online, and maybe that's attractive to my area. So that could be skewing this list. If this were a list from like 2022, 23, I probably would have put it in my top 20. Still, it's definitely up there. There's lots of great covers, lots of classic stuff here. But I will note, sometimes I have some trouble moving 70s and 80s Avengers, so it's definitely 60s only. Next, and only DC entry on the list, you are going to think I'm going to say Batman, and it's not Batman. Batman probably is number 11, so it's probably just off the list. Lois frickin' Lane. When it comes to DC Comics, the chicks move ridiculously well for me. So Lois Lane, Wonder Woman, when I can get it in, which is almost never.
That's what she said.
Lois Lane, dude, it is one of the cheaper Silver Age titles to collect for sure. And maybe it's so accessible and actually possible to achieve that people like to hunt this one down. I think people also just like the covers, and the stories are a lot of fun. They're lighthearted, they're real laid back. It's kind of fun to see it from her angle rather than Superman's. And it's one that even my mom said was kind of winning her over, so that's something. Next is going to be Strange Tales. I kind of lumped this in with Tales to Astonish and Tales of Suspense, but I shouldn't, because it's definitely Strange Tales that has a significant bump over those other two. I don't know if it's just simply the most common of those three that I get in. I will say people love the covers. They are pretty riddled with large, medium, and small keys, so there's a lot of collectability in Strange Tales. And this is our third one in the row that I also think prices a little bit lower than some other counterparts from Marvel Silver Age. For example, I tend to find that Tales of Suspense prices higher than Strange Tales. So that may be why Tales of Suspense suffers slightly. All I know is when I get Strange Tales in, I know it's going to move. Next is going to be Journey into Mystery. Note that I didn't say Thor, I'm saying Journey into Mystery. That's very specific. Journey into Mystery is the first one on the list that is a bit more pricey. A lot of my Silver Age stuff, non-keys, just kind of get a flat $10. Journey into Mystery, even the non-keys, they're significantly higher than that. Interestingly, that does not deter people, which is a statement to the collectability and the desirability of JIM. People want this stuff, and I'm not even just talking about the issues of 83 on higher, where it's Thor. People do like grabbing the pre-Thor too. It's just an all-around fun run that you frankly don't see as much as the other ones, and despite its price tag, people do like grabbing this thing on a somewhat regular basis. Next is going to be another mainstream Marvel title. You could probably guess that this was going to be in my top 10 somewhere. Fantastic Four. Going back to Lois and Avengers and Strange Tales, this is one that was heavily picked up back then. So typically if I'm finding Marvel Silver Age books, they're Fantastic Four. So when you find it more often, you kind of price accordingly. My FF tends to be a slightly underpriced, so that could be skewing the list again. I'm not talking about giving it away for a song. I still think it's a fair price, and at those fair prices, they move. I'm currently running a 15% off sale for the month, and I've really been seeing those boxes deplete really fast. People like their FF, man. There's a lot of classic stuff there. While not exactly a easy one to complete, it is one that might be easier than others, and maybe that hope is all people need. Next is going to be Silver Surfer. And realistically, this could have been higher on the list if it weren't for the fact that these other titles I get in more often, and they move all the time. Silver Surfer I get in from time to time, and I'm typically not getting 1, I'm typically not getting 3, I'm typically not getting 4. But 2 through the end of the run, minus those issues I mentioned, seem to sell like hotcakes, man. Even with a slightly higher price than Avengers, than Fantastic Four, than some of these other ones, people aren't afraid of that price tag. People want their Silver Surfer. Very easy to collect in the long run. You got a couple tough ones, but there's less than 20 issues. This is a run you can put together with some determination and some grit and some money. Number 4 is going to go to Daredevil. And honestly, that one has sometimes been all the way up to number 1 for me, no joke. Daredevil moves, man. It's also kind of like the Fantastic Four, and it's one of the ones I get in more frequently. If I'm getting Marvel Silver Age, this is one of the more common ones that people are willing to depart with. And unlike Fantastic Four and Avengers, it's actually not particularly key heavy. There's a lot of what we call fluff. Non-keys, no first appearances for large stretches of time. There's many issues that just follow into that nice, clean pocket of, okay, I guess $10, $10, $10, $10, and they move, they move, they move, they move. Unless you start getting into like high-grade copies, which I don't see too often, this stuff is a super solid non-key $10 for me. Some of this top 3 is going to be predictable, like Silver Age XMen. Silver Age XMen is a little bit more akin to that of Silver Surfer. It's pricier, and it's a little akin to Avengers in terms of the sheer amount of keys. Oh my God, it feels like every other X-Men book from the Silver Age has some pretty sizable key significance. So this stuff ain't cheap. This is, I think, the first one on the list that's, I would just outright say, expensive. Even more than Journey into Mystery. X-Men ain't cheap. And it walks out the door all the time. It sells, man. It sells. I don't get that in enough. I wish I did more because it's my top 3. Number 2 is extremely predictable. This is going to be Amazing Spider-Man. A lot of you are probably pretty surprised that it's not number 1. I'll explain. Amazing Spider-Man's definitely my solid number 2, and I'm sure there are stretches of time where it is my number 1. Right now, it's a solid number 2. This thing is always one that if I'm not on top of my ASM bins, they will just deplete. So I have to constantly be trying to get out there and pay high to get Silver Age ASM in because it's almost hard to keep up with. That's how well that stuff moves. You don't need me to tell you that. I'm sure you know. But expensive, classic as classic gets, everybody wants it, littered with keys. It's the perfect storm, and it's a fantastic seller for the Silver Age. I don't know if you were able to guess my number 1, especially since number 7 was JIM. Number 1 is Thor. Let that sink in for a second. Now, I think this is specific to my area. Maybe there's just a lot of Thor hunters in my area, or I think maybe Thor, like Avengers, like Lois Lane, like some of these other ones, it's cheap. Thor Silver Age is a lot cheaper than most of the Silver Age titles at the time when you look up the fair market values. It's kind of very akin to that of DC's Lois Lane title. Now, interestingly, I think it's kind of similar to ASM and X-Men in that there are a lot of keys in Thor. They just don't do the same price tags at all. You can get books of serious importance for like $20 from Thor Silver Age. It's pretty crazy. I think the bang for your buck you get with Thor is just pretty spectacular. Maybe people are just starting to catch on because that is my current and has been for a little while, number one. I joke with the people that come in my shop and grab up all the Thors. I'm like, dude, what the heck? Like, you guys are going to have to sell some of this stuff back to me at some point because apparently I am buying Thor right now. I'm actually not buying Thor. I have a grotesque amount of Silver Age Thor. I do need more Silver Age DC. I'm horribly, horribly understocked on that stuff. Honestly, if I had more DC, I think some of them would be slipping into this list a bit more. But DC fans like to hold on to their books a lot more than Marvel fans do. DC fans really love to hoard their books, man. I want to know, from those of you around the world, give me some books that you found that weren't on this list that you think your local shop is selling lots of. I want to know what other parts geographically are doing. Because I think my list might be a little bit weird with Thor, how high I'm putting Daredevil, how high I'm putting Lois Lane, maybe. I'd love to know. Fun video to make. I love talking about this stuff. You guys know that. I'll see you at the next video and keep on hunting. Make sure to come on down to Sentiment Depot's Antiques and Collectibles, located at 238 West Delaware Ave in Pennington, New Jersey. Find so many great books for just $1 and the lowest prices on key comics around. Enjoy a huge selection of graded comics priced up to 20% lower than current fair market value. We are open from Wednesday to Sunday, closed Monday, Tuesday. You got a collection you want to sell? Bring that too. Can't wait to see you there.